briefly explain what I had planned to do. So for the summer, I've been doing lots of theatre classes over the last 2 years and getting better at learning my lines. And I decided to set myself a challenge over the summer to learn a monologue by heart and then perform it live here, like on Facebook. And so I looked for a few monologues for female characters, and I found one from Oscar Wilde's play. Well, it's not The Importance of Being Earnest, but it's in this collection. The play is called An Ideal Husband. And the monologue is by a character called Mabel, who doesn't have a very big role. She's a secondary character. She's the sister of Robert Chiltern, who is the ideal husband in question. And this monologue, the one that I chose, is when she's having a conversation with her sister-in-law, Lady Gertrude Chiltern. And she's talking about this character called Tommy Trafford, who is the secretary to her brother. And he never appears in the play. So he's just talked about and he doesn't appear in it. And I picked this monologue because I found it very funny. So this is take 2. Well, Tommy has proposed to me again. Tommy really does nothing but propose to me. He proposed to me last night in the music room when I was quite unprotected, as there was an elaborate trio going on. I didn't dare to make the smallest repartee, I need hardly tell you. If I had, it would have stopped the music at once. Musical people are so absurdly unreasonable. They always want one to be perfectly dumb at the very moment that one is longing to be absolutely deaf. Then he proposed to me in broad daylight this morning in front of that dreadful statue of Achilles. Really, the things that go on in front of that work of art are quite appalling. The police should interfere. At luncheon, I saw by the glare in his eye that he was going to propose again, and I just managed to check him in time by assuring him that I was a bimetallist. Fortunately, I don't know what bimetallism means, and I don't believe anybody else does either. But the observation crushed Tommy for 10 minutes. He looked quite shocked. And then Tommy is so annoying in the way he proposes. If he proposed at the top of his voice, I should not mind so much. That might produce some effect on the public. But he does it in a horrid, confidential way. When Tommy wants to be romantic, he talks to one just like a doctor. I'm very fond of Tommy, but his methods of proposing are quite out of date. I wish, Gertrude, you would speak to him and tell him that once a week is quite often enough to propose to anyone, and it should always be done in a manner that attracts some attention. End of take 2.